Wait, no, it was me. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, bro.
Good.
Finally.
Yeah.
Been a
uh,
fucking while, man.
is it 2019 in Madrid? Is that the
No,
last
no,
time?
no, it was Winter Clash.
Oh, I forgot Winter Clash was even a thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course it was, because that was the last super spreader
Yeah,
event.
yeah, Winter Clash 2020, dude. That was the last time.
Can you ever remember much from Winter Clash? I kind of need to like go through my phone and just sort of see like what shit I decided to
Dude,
press record on. But other than that, it's a bit of a blur of sort of semi kind of tipsy conversations, and you're just so
dude.
tired by the end of the day.
Yeah, to be honest, I remember a lot of it. I remember because I wasn't even drunk. Well, I got drunk on Saturday, I think, I guess, in the final. But I was all the time in the booth. I was selling shirts. I was making money, dude.
Of course you were, of course.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
did you get like a lot of engagement? I suppose use a rather sterile word for like being in a booth, like
Yeah, yeah, it was
selling your
crazy.
bits.
Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't leave. Like it was the first time my brother came to Winter Clash,
Mm.
first Winter Clash ever, and he's been skating since I started skating. So it was a big deal for him. But I like he was like, dude, you're on the booth all the time talking to people and selling shirts. Like you're not with me enjoying my first moment at Winter Clash. I'm like, I didn't realize. Like I got there every day of Winter Clash. Like Friday I was there, and the day went just by, just being in the booth all the time and talking to people.
That's awesome. I mean, that does tend to be my experience as well. It's just kind of like a non-stop conversation. But for Roberto, did he have, despite you being at the booth, did he enjoy his time at Winter Clash? Like, was it
He
a
didn't
good?
he didn't like it at all, man.
Really?
he hated it. Yeah, he didn't like it. He didn't like Winter Clash. I
What?
mean, uh, I guess he wanted to skate too, and he just I think he just didn't understand how many people go there, and yeah, and I think yeah, it was crazy for him because I think he had another idea of what the event was, and I think everything for him, he thought that everything would be more chill, like he would be like skating and just like
What gave him that idea?
I don't know, but then I think he found himself there in like a crowd of people, and a lot of people he didn't know, a lot of people he knew, but yeah, he didn't expect, like he had another different idea. Plus, like I was also at the booth all the time, which sucked. Like, I mean, I understand, like I should have like been with him more, but yeah, I was doing that, and just like also like taking care of my shit. Everything was at the booth, and
Of
I had all the
course.
shirts there. Like I was a bit scared that everyone would like anyone would steal or something. So I was there all the time, and I didn't realize, just talking to people and drinking beer, and then like from minute to minute I would see my brother, like I would see that big hair over there in the far
Yeah, he's
watching,
unmistakable.
yeah, watching the contest, and I was thinking, oh my God, he's not stoked at all. I mean,
So what you could see from his like facial
his
expression that he
face,
was
yeah,
just kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
like, mm,
yeah,
mm.
like, just like seeing all this madness, all these like backflips and shit, and he would be like,
Are
oh my God, what is going on here? What have
you
I done?
you're Roberto's elder brother, right?
Yeah, yeah, 1 year only. Like, we are
Uh,
pretty much the same.
okay, so it wasn't as if like it's kind of like my baby brother
No,
is
no,
out on his own in his first
yeah,
major skate event and you feel
yeah,
bad
yeah,
because you're not like kind of guiding him. I mean, suppose
yeah,
like once you get into the skate park, you
yeah,
kind of get the idea quite quickly, I
yeah,
guess,
yeah,
of like what's
yeah,
happening.
yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, it's like it's only 1 year difference, and he's like my older brother sometimes in a lot of things too, because we're pretty much the same. We
Mm.
grew up doing the same stuff. But yeah, it was his first time in Winter Clash, and he didn't like it. He said he's not coming back anymore.
What, not to enter? Not to enter
Yeah,
the
yeah,
am contest next time?
yeah, yeah. He was saying. I remember he came to me. He said, "Dude, I'm like looking for trains and stuff. I'm going to Amsterdam with Yoop. You know Yoop,
Yeah, yeah,
the
of course. Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah. He's like, I'm going with Yoop to party in Amsterdam. Like I'm gone."
Well, because Amsterdam's like quite a renowned place for like partying and stuff like
Yeah,
that, right? Like, I
yeah,
mean, he wouldn't be the first person that said, "I think I'm just going to go to Amsterdam" when they were like
yeah.
literally at Winter Clash. So
Yeah,
what
I
he
mean, I
didn't.
get Eindhoven. It's a fucking, what is it? It's a town. It's like a little town where there's like not much to do.
You got
So
some
I
kebab
get it.
shops,
Yeah, I
and
get it.
some coffee shops.
I get it. Like maybe he had this like other like idea, right? Like, oh, I'm in the Netherlands, Amsterdam, right? All this, that, but nah, man, you're in Eindhoven and you're going to this like fucking indoor skate park with a bunch of dudes to watch them skate.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, if you watched any of the videos or actually just spoke to you a little bit about what your experience of, because we've all got like I think like a sort of similar take on Winter Clash, whereas like
yeah,
I
yeah,
think as I actually try and skate Winter Clash, not necessarily. I've skated the contest maybe couple of times,
yeah,
but found it really almost impossible to like just do my thing.
yeah,
And it's just fucking really dangerous as well. I feel like I'm gonna get hurt quite a lot, but I have actually had a good time skating. But I've also had like a pretty decent time just like walking around with the camera and just filming dumb shit and filming
yeah,
like
yeah,
spectacular shit as well.
yeah,
But I understand how you could be there and
yeah.
just think, it's kind of not really me, this.
Yeah, because it was also my fault because I hyped him up a lot. Like I was getting hyped. Like I was telling him, dude, it's gonna be fucking sick. You have to come. Also, I was thinking you have to help me with the t-shirts and shit.
Like
Like all
carrying the
my
shit as well, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was like, dude, you have to come. It's gonna be epic. And then
So by the end of it, was he just like, so Tone, you've basically just gotten me to carry like the merch to this place
yeah,
and
maybe
just set me free in the skate park?
yeah, maybe. No,
Well,
but I
yeah.
mean, he had some fun. Let's say, I mean, he had some fun, some moments of fun, right? But it wasn't like the experience he thought it was gonna be, right?
What, so like was the experience for him? Because I imagine, does Roberto speak as fluently as you do, like in terms of English, and is he able to communicate just as well as you?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Yeah.
And so was that like a cool experience for him, like people like knowing who he was, like, because because actually I didn't really know much about Roberto until, well, I suppose just obviously knowing you, but seeing some
Yeah.
things like more recently on social media, like on
Yeah.
Instagram and stuff like that. I didn't really know much about Roberto. Has he been skating as long as you, and people might
Yeah,
know who
yeah,
he is now?
yeah. But he's like I would say like just like a pure skater. Like he doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about like the blading world. Let's say it like that, right? So for
Mm.
him, it's like imagine like you've been blading all your life, and then you go into winter class and you see like, oh, my favorite pros. But my brother doesn't give a fuck about all this shit.
Mm.
Like he doesn't care about anything. Like that's why I kind of knew like maybe he would be a little bit bored in winter class, but it's one of those things you have to do, right? If you're a skater, you have to go at least once, right?
Probably, yeah. It's
It's
like
like
the
yeah, it's like the legend. You have to go.
yeah, there's definitely a legend to it. It's
Yeah,
like a crazy social event. It's kind of not like anything you could go to, because it's like, even if you go to like a music show or something, it's like most of those people might be into the same music as you, whether that's like, kind of guitar, hip hop, whatever, metal
yeah,
music or
exactly.
whatever. But it's not like you feel the permission to just get into shit with just literally anybody that's around you, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it is kind of like it's like a bit of a convention as well. Most of
yeah,
the pros are there and they're literally like standing next to you, and you could just be like, oh, hey, how you doing? I really like how you skate, and
yeah,
just
yeah,
kind of go from there, kind of thing.
yeah,
But I suppose, yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it once. I know,
yeah.
like I don't know. Is there a withdrawal of Winter Clash now that we've missed a year? Is that is
Dude,
it kind of is. I don't know. I don't know.
uh, I mean the only for me like for me going to winter class, it means just seeing people I don't see during the year, and that's it. I don't care about the rest. Like
Yeah,
I know that there's a lot of effort on the event organizing, and I love like Jojo makes like an incredible job.
100%.
All that stuff, I know it. But for me, I just go there to hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
And the last one especially, like I did TATE 2, and I wanted to be there because I did you remember I was like giving stickers with a QR code?
Yep. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah,
That was really sick. So I
I was
mean,
doing that.
there are a bunch of things like I kind of wanted to ask you about
Yeah.
T8 actually for sure. And yeah, like using QR codes, for instance, to kind of add a different dimension to a product is definitely one of them. You're one of the only other people, at least in my mind, that's sort of used that technology. Is it like so how did you use a QR code to like kind of promote T8 or to create interest in T8, like and actually suppose like I could actually just straight up and ask you what the fuck is T8, because that would be a good preface to like using QR codes and stuff.
A lot of people asking me these days, sending me messages like, hey, what the fuck is this? Like,
because shit's dope.
What's T8? What's T8? What's global surveillance? Holy shit, what is it? Like basically what I did on TATE 2 was well, on TATE 1 we did the stream, which was Mike Simpson's idea. Was like one of the, I think in my opinion, one of the greatest ideas I ever
like. It's really good.
Because like the whole thing, the whole name of it, the whole TATE or T8 or whatever you want to call it, comes from like me going to the actual museum in London, TATE.
Yep.
And just being in an art exhibition of video, and I don't remember what was it. The theme exactly. I just remember it was like some like war interview in Syria with a kid, something very crazy. And there was this art exhibition, and of course, in an art exhibition, you get in, and whatever you see is what it's playing at the moment, right? You cannot play anything from the beginning, right? So the whole idea comes from there because we were talking with Mike, and also like a joke, right? Imagine like doing like something very artsy, and at the same time doing like that, like an art exhibition, and make a video. Like my idea, we had crazy ideas like video installations, like crazy ideas where the person goes, and the moment the person gets into the video, they see whatever is streaming at the moment, right? So then that was it. That the idea was the streaming. So the whole name from TATE came from there because I was like, dude, like first of all, like Mike, like let's start from the beginning, right? Mike moved to Barcelona. Was it 2 years ago? I think. Like
17, something like that. 18? No, what am I talking about?
No. He was there.
Fucking like 19, right? 2019. I actually don't have a fucking clue. I think 2019. Yeah. I reckon.
For me, it feels like he's been living here forever already. But yeah, he moved here, and then we started skating together. Like there was like a good connection between us. We liked the same spots or same shit. Even though like my skating and Mike's skating is completely different. I love to see Mike skating, and I was like, dude, I wanted to film him all the time, whatever he was doing. So it started like that. We started filming. He started like sending the footage to Muzzle, and I stacked a lot of like things of Mike, and I was like, and things of myself, and I was like, what should we do with this? Like we have so much, and that all like connected with me going to London, and just like I went on a weekend on a little holiday just because I never was in London, and I went on 2018, I would say. And yeah, coming back and talking these ideas with Mike, and then Mike just said, just call it TATE. That's it. T8, TATE, whatever. I was like, all right, this is a Mike Simpson idea. Is it too crazy? Okay, let's go.
There have been some Mike Simpson ideas that have been too crazy. I will say that right here, now.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, dude, fuck yeah, let's do it. I mean, I just wanted to make a video, like. And I was like, yeah, why not TATE? Let's go for it. And yeah, we kept on filming. And I finished my contract at my last job I had. So I had a lot of free time. And we went with this little trip to Zaragoza with Colum and Yup and my brother. And then we gathered so much footage again. And I was like, dude, we have to make a long length video. Like, this is like, it has to be And yeah, we kept on filming. Then we kept on filming in Barcelona. Then Mark joined too for some clips, and
Mhm.
Adri, because they were at the same time they were filming for Flama, I believe already.
Because
And
Flammer dates back all the way back
yeah,
to the first TATE video then.
yeah,
Oh
that
wow.
I think it's been 2 years, Flama.
Because
I mean,
actually you say in your mind you wanted to kind of do like a long video, but
yeah,
then if I think about like with Mark, with Adri, with Balas Pedidas, like
yeah,
some of like the longer form videos are like actually like fucking over years,
yeah,
with
yeah,
like multiple tours. So
yeah,
in a way, like, you know, there's your version, like the T8 tape
yeah,
version of like a long
yeah,
form video, and then there's like
yeah,
Mark and those guys working over the course of maybe
yeah,
over a year. So it's
yeah,
sort of two different types of long form videos, I
yeah, yeah,
guess.
yeah. The thing is, like we had this concept and we idea. We were so excited about it, and also like Mike and me, we don't like to sit into footage like for so long. Like I don't see myself filming for a video for 2 years or something like that. I mean, maybe I would do it, but mm, no, because when I have a concept in my mind,
Mm.
I want to work on that, and then I don't I don't know what the fuck I'm going to be thinking next year, right? So we had that idea, and we worked on it, and then Madrid came, and you joined.
Mhm.
But you came to Barcelona before, right? No,
Yeah, I
after.
think I combined it. Yeah, I would have combined it with a trip to Spain because we went to the spa, didn't we? That was the same trip
Oh my
when we
god,
went
we went to
to
the spa,
yeah,
dude.
spa day. That would have been the same trip. So I think I came back to Barcelona after Madrid to just spend a bit of time.
Yeah,
I think, right?
true. Yeah, it was
And then
after.
that
It
was
was after.
2019. That was like the
Yes,
summer of
summer.
2019. So
Yeah,
we were just about to hit the period of turbulence that we're now obviously sort of
yeah,
still kind of figuring
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So so
That was crazy. Going to
yeah,
Madrid in summer is like the most stupid idea ever. It's like no
I
one in
loved
Spain.
it.
Yeah, me too. But no one in Spain does that shit because there's no sea in Madrid. You're there in a city when it's fucking hot. You remember how hot it was?
It was fucking hot, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm certainly a person who likes to get burnt to a crisp. You know, I'm lacking the sun here in England, so you know I will jump to sort of
yeah,
just getting burnt. But yeah, look, I think like doing like aggressive skating in the middle of any city center where like the temperatures are like, you know, 30 degrees or whatever, or
it
you
was
know,
crazy.
averaging high 20s, 30 degrees, that's really hard. So I didn't remember the heat being like a feature that made it like a nightmare or anything. I mean, it does
Yeah,
make you a little bit like like a little bit more tired, but I think the kind of skating that we wanted to do,
yeah,
and like definitely being influenced by some of the things that you just said, like in terms of maybe how Mike skates or maybe how you conceptualize skating,
yeah,
that
yeah,
bled into like
yeah.
me a little bit as well. Although I do seem to remember, like I think a few of us did a couple of tricks that was just like, is that T8 style? Like, which,
Totally.
which is just funny. It's just kind of jokes.
That was Mike. That was Mike saying, "This is not date enough. You have to like take it to the next level." Yeah.
What so that so there's a few things to unpack actually, and I guess like the number one thing would be like, I mean, you had said that you know your like concepts almost you want to like synthesize them quickly rather
Yeah,
than saying, well, I don't know what I'm going to be thinking or feeling in a year and a half. So
yeah,
like it's more important to you to immediately express, show, and present what your concepts are in that moment.
yeah. I
um
mean, not in like. I mean, I used to do like more like social media, like when I was younger, like on my 20s. Like I was like doing it something and just posting it. Like I don't do that shit anymore. Like that is like the last thing I want to do. Like I do long term things, but I give myself like a year. Like I want to do. Well, I'm actually working on doing take 3, and yeah, it's gonna be. It has to be like a year. I cannot do 2 year video. Definitely
mm,
not. I don't know. I don't know. It's just I got the concept. I got the music already,
mm, mm.
and it has to be done. Otherwise, if I sit on footage, my concept or whatever the idea I have, it just blends into something. It's not what I wanted. So I
No,
have that. I have this fear. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But
no, I don't think you are. I mean, I think there's a few things that have sort of pushed people like yourself or other people who want to create video content and skate video content. There are a few things that have pushed you sort of wanting to more immediately create the video and not have like footage that might maybe look dated, it looks old, or maybe it's not cohesive with some of the other things that are going on in the world. Maybe, I mean, like you could take coronavirus as a well, I suppose like when I see footage, not just skate footage, but you always look around for a mask in the background. Like, was this
yeah,
pre-corona or during
yeah,
corona?
totally.
Because it almost feels like it's kind of a different world. So the kind of relevance of certain things and the importance of certain things shifts because bigger things in the world have actually come on and changed like culture a little bit. And I think like is it sort of something about culture, and is it about like aesthetics and your concepts, like, and how all of that stuff mixes in and wants you to like create something, so it has to be quicker, more. And I suppose social media has been a big part of that as well. And you were saying, actually, I don't want to just put stuff out every day or every other day, but actually by people putting stuff out every day or every other day on, it makes like content more disposable, I guess.
I mean, like going back to that is like you've seen both of my videos. You've seen how it's like a session, like it's a session. There's no sections. Like my brain works like that. Like I'm in the session skating, and I'm observing everyone. Like, and I see like you or Busugi or Neil or whatever, like in Madrid, like I see you doing something or like trying something, then I'm instantly like think, okay, this guy's gonna do this. I want to film it. Like if he wants to do it, or like I try and motivate everyone, like, yo, like this is fucking sick what you're doing. Let's film it, right? So I'm more like in the session. So I get it when you do like a long length video of like 2 years, right? Let's say 2 years, there's sections. Then I get it. Like you want to film it for 2 years, your best section or whatever. If that's the style of video you're trying to do, like perfect for me. But that's what I'm not trying to do. That I'm trying to like record what's happening in the session and maybe edit it in a weird way or like mixing things. Like it doesn't have to be like same spot and everyone skated, but maybe I do one spot and then I cut and there's like we go back to Barcelona to some other spot and then we go back to Madrid. I like to play with that, but always like session and no sections. Like I don't fuck with like sections anymore. Videos with sections. It makes me bored.
Yeah, that's I mean that is a really really cool point, and cool way to think about how skate videos appear at the moment. I mean, because certainly when I go out skating in London, and some of the things that like I may edit, it's really difficult to film somebody and then take that particular clip or that particular moment out of the context of like what we're all doing together in that moment. And as you say, it's kind of like I quite like the idea of just sort of being out in the context of being in the middle of London with all of the homies, spotting somebody messing around with something, in fact exactly as you described. And then when I put all of that content out on the timeline of my edit suite, it's really difficult to say, well, that clip I need to send over there for that person's like profile or for that person's sponsor. I'm not saying I wouldn't do that at all, but it's like it's really difficult because there's a cohesion that's really important to me when we're out skating together. And if it's filming, it's really I don't want to take those clips out and put them in a profile in a way. So what, you know, so is that the kind of direction that sort of TATE really, that's one of the main directions of TATE? It's kind of like,
I mean, you can see on TATE 1 there's, well, the video starts with Mike and you can see a lot of clips of Mike. That's another thing I tried. I tried to like make people think you were going to see a section and then you don't. Like, I love that idea, and I'm trying to do that. Like start with someone, like get like 5 clips on a row of someone, same person, and then just you start seeing another person with the same music and being like, why? Like I like that, like because
That's really
I'm so
cool.
tired. I'm so tired of watching videos and sections. I mean, I get stoked. Like for example, Flama, I was stoked, but they're my friends. I want to see the sections and all that. But usually, I try not to watch videos with sections, or if I do, it's gonna sound terrible, but I skip to the enders and stuff like. If they're not my friends, right? If these people I don't know, like if I watch a section of you, of course I watch the whole thing. You're my friend. It's the same, right? It's the same with like my friends, but I try not to do that. And yeah, like I have crazy ideas for the next video, and I want to like explore like different kinds of ways of
Mm.
organizing the footage. But again, the same thing. It has to be the session. Like I think a lot of people told me that they enjoyed. Oh, I enjoy so much your videos because you guys seem to have fun, right? You guys in the plaza having fun and doing. That's what I want. I
Yeah,
don't want to do
that
sections.
that's awesome, man. I mean, it's evident in the T8 videos that that's exactly what you're doing. I love how you divert the viewer. So it's like I'm watching something and then you're leading up to with some kind of like old school conventions of like leading into a profile, but
Yeah,
then it's
exactly.
like not a profile. So
Yeah,
the person watching it's almost like, oh, oh, am I disappointed? Oh, but that was really cool. Now I'm elsewhere. Now I'm somewhere else. So you
yeah,
don't even have time to go, oh, I'm disappointed that that's not a profile. And I think
yeah,
it's a general idea of like, I don't know, does it leave you wanting, it leaves you wanting something that you're not going to get, but you are going
yeah,
to get something that's equally cool,
yeah,
in a way.
yeah, yeah. Totally, totally.
What
Yeah, I
was,
had people telling me like, "Yo, like, I thought I was going to see like a full Mike Simpson profile, right?" I was like, "No."
I wonder if he might be one of the, I don't know, maybe I'm being biased because he's a pal of mine, and I love his skating, and I've got like a shitload of clips of Mike on my
Yeah,
computer that, are just awesome, that he just goes, oh no, they're shit, or he doesn't really like them, or he's just got some weird opinion about like his own skating and other people's skating as well.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
but
for
like,
sure.
I suppose he might be one of the most requested people for like, I don't know, to see more of, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Like, dude, we filmed and probably like had like maybe I don't know in a session like 4 clips, let's say, and there's like 3 of those clips that are fucking amazing, and I want them for my video. And then he's like, "Nah, nah, these are bad. I'm gonna send it to like maybe I can send it to Muzzle for Instagram." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, it's funny though.
So like with just to go back to the Tate name,
Yeah, yeah,
and the initial inspiration of being actually at the Tate Modern,
yeah. That was
and
cool.
when you walk into an art exhibition that maybe has an installation or it has a video accompaniment to the art, often you come in and, as you say, you're kind of halfway through the video, so you kind of have to like hit the ground running with whatever you're seeing. And
Yeah,
then do you even stay for like the beginning of the video bit that you missed? It's really, it puts you in a strange dilemma in
exactly,
a way. Like,
exactly,
do you stay for the opening 10 minutes of the video, or do you walk out with what you've
exactly,
just taken from that installation?
exactly.
Which is kind of like a cool or a strange kind of space to be in, because you're there to like learn and like understand something that you maybe didn't have understanding before, but then it questions your commitment to like
Exactly,
that video source, or that source of information or whatever art
exactly.
that you're into. But the other cool thing about Tate is actually, like, outside the Tate Modern Museum, for instance, that's actually a really well-established skate spot in its own
Definitely.
right in London, but not for really aggressive skating at all. It's actually a place in the last few years that myself and some of the homies have really practiced more like 100 millimeter like wizard style skating and
Yeah,
just be
yeah,
social there. But
yeah,
then it also makes me think, I mean, that's a London thing, but then it also makes me think about the like travel permit, like for the
yeah,
trains in like Barcelona as well, for the metro, like T8 ticket. Was that like, and that's, and
also, yeah,
you know,
that's
that's
also,
an obvious like reference, you
yeah,
know, to like kind of Barcelona and skating in
yeah,
Barcelona. Was that at all like part of the sort of what it
definitely,
works like there as well? It works in all these different ways.
yeah. I mean, we had, was it in 2019? I don't know, like 2 years ago. When no, 2018 probably. Yeah, we had new Metro cards, and there was one like the T10, which is the classic one. You got
Oh, it's
10
T10,
trips,
of
right?
course, the T10,
Yeah,
of course. Yeah,
you
yeah,
got
sure.
all this like 10 trips, and it's just for one person. And back in the day, it used to be like you could pass 3 persons with the same card, right? That's not happening anymore.
All
Now
right.
there, yeah, yeah. Now there's the family card that you can do
Ah,
that.
that's the one.
Yeah, but yeah, the family card has only eight trips, not 10.
Right.
So there you go.
So
That's
is that, so that's actually a T8 then? Is
yeah,
that actually a T8?
yeah,
Yeah, I was actually thinking about T10s. So my bad. That was the original ticket where you just got your
yeah,
T10 and
yeah.
then you just used it for like the next 4, 5, 6 days, and then you like put it through. You're like, ah, fuck, I'm out. And then, oh, should I get another
Exactly,
one? That was
exactly.
wild, actually. Like, you know, first arriving to Barcelona and doing like shit like bunking the trains, like
Yeah,
that was wild. Like just doing, because I kind
yeah,
of wanted to ask you actually a little bit about skate tourism in Barcelona and sort of what that's been like, you know, as a skater
yeah,
living in Barcelona, you know, and just the effects of that really. But I mean, just a couple more things actually on tape, because I do, you know, there's a few things to unpack about Barcelona because I've
yeah,
been
yeah,
visiting
yeah.
Barcelona for a long time.
Whatever.
But with the like with the like with the iconography of Tate, so
Yeah,
like the kind of like
logo.
globe, the angry globe
Yeah,
face,
yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah,
you know, the sort of CCTV kind
yeah,
of iconography,
yeah,
and like, yeah, like how do you come up, how do you design, why use certain
yeah,
images and graphics that like exemplify the concept? Like how do you do that? What's going
yeah.
on?
So I don't know. I mean, you have the long. I think you have the blue long sleeve. The first that I made.
Mm-hmm.
That was like when we did the video. When we did the first Tate video, we were like, well, I was like, well, how should I present this? There's no graphics. There's nothing. So I just found out like this futuristic font I always liked, and I was like, all right, we'll just put T8, and then I do a glove. Like I get this wireframe glove, and I just put it there. That's it. Like I didn't think about anything for the first video, right? Then for take two, I was more thinking, okay, I want to do like a new video, but I want to make it shorter, and it has to be like it has to have like kind of a remix vibe. So I have to like remake the logo. So I was like really into well, I've been always like I studied design and video, so I was really into always being in all kinds of like iconography and imagery from the 90s, all this rave shit, all this like hardcore 2000 techno, like really bad music, but they had like, in my opinion, amazing graphics. Also like all the like first like PlayStation era, all this shit, right? All this like
Mm-hmm.
tech shit from the 2000s, 90s, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to do a new logo for the new video, right? That's it. Like, so I came up with this face. Like, it is like inspired on a hard Spanish techno 2000 like very bad music, like yeah, like terrible music actually, but funny as fuck for sure. And the logo is inspired on that era, right? So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be Take Two. That's gonna be the logo for Take Two, right? And after that, I make some shirts. And at Winter Clash, I had so many people coming to me and telling me, dude, this logo is so sick. Like for some reason, I it reminds me of like No Fear, all these weird fucking 90s, like very bad brands, like the kind of like the bad boys would wear, like tracksuit and the fucking No Fear and like Pitbull in Germany, all this shit, right? And yeah, I had a lot of people coming to me saying, dude, I love this logo. And I had like friends from Germany, friends from Pat,
Mm.
like people I really listen to. telling me, dude, this logo is amazing. I want the long sleeve with the logo on the back. I was like, dude, I didn't even think about it. I didn't think it was sick. So from there, and going to like, because I did this on 2020, like I released TATE 2 on 2020. Yeah, from there, we had coronavirus, we had lockdown. So I was like, I had like not many like freelance jobs to do, had a lot of free time. And I was thinking, dude, I always wanted to make, I don't want to say a brand because I don't like call it a brand, but I said I want to do something like a collective of people I like and just make a logo of it. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna use this logo and I'm just gonna like make it nicer and work a concept in it. So yeah, in TATE 1 we had a lot of like moments where we were filmed by CCTV and we had like the typical like security guy coming to us and all this stuff, right? So I was thinking, okay, it's a glove and it's like a kind of like pissed off glove of like, you know, like, and I was like, okay, surveillance. All right, I'm just gonna call it global surveillance. I came up with this name and I was like, and since like I'm also like a fan of all these like conspiracies of like Edward Snowden and all this shit, like I was like, dude, this is it. Like, I like this. Like, it's gonna be CCTV cameras. It's gonna be like fucking conspiracies. It's gonna be like all this imagery that, like, sort of like totalitarian imagery that makes people scared and stuff like that, mixed with all this like 90s shit I love. Like, I'm a 90s kid and I love all these like tech PlayStation 90s era. And I was like, dude, this is it. So that's how like global surveillance came. And yeah, when people ask me, I say like, dude, so TATE is like the videos I make, and global surveillance is the clothing I'm making. So it's all the same. It's all the same under the name of TATE. But some people like, dude, like recently I had skateboarders buying my clothing. It's been crazy. Yeah.
That's dope.
And just being at the park and being with other rollerbladers and listening things like, dude, what are you like? Why are you wearing a fucking, people I know, right? Like, you're wearing a global surveillance shirt. No, it's a TATE shirt. And be like, what? Like, being this confusion, right? What is TATE? You know, some people don't know what it is, and then they see the videos and they are like, whoa. So this has to do with this, right? So for me, it's like two different things in one. So it's like global surveillance would be the clothing I'm doing, all the design shit and all my crazy ideas, the things I like, and then TATE is the videos, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man, that's a pretty comprehensive explanation of TATE and global surveillance, and why you decided to sort of pull in the different references that you did, because, you know, we're like subject to a lot of the things that are going on in culture, and, you know, we make meaning in our own minds based on some of the things that we see going on in culture, and some of the things that we're either concerned about, or some of the things that we're affected by, or some of the things that we feel are just and right, or some of the things that we feel are really ugly and wrong. And then, you know, skating somehow is just this like fun and silly and expressive, serious, profound activity that somehow pulls all of that stuff together. And I think really with TATE and global surveillance, that's what it kind of says to me. It kind of like pulls all of those things together, and it makes you connect dots. It's not obvious or explicit exactly what it is, but it's sort of like, if you're interested in it, you sort of start connecting the dots yourself a little bit. How do people in other disciplines, like for instance skateboarders, like, you know, how do they become aware of something that's like, you know, related to inline skating, like in Barcelona, for instance? Like, how is that via seeing you, or is that sort of a social media like Instagram presence as well?
Well, like living in Barcelona is like, you know, a skateboarding city. So I have a lot of friends that are skateboarders, and they ask me for clothing. Like, dude, I like, just like what I'm trying to do with global surveillance is I'm trying to do like stuff or designs that are like, that you don't know it's rollerblading, right? I never use the word blade, or like, you know what I'm saying? So
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'm trying to do I'm trying to do all this shit, like nice graphics, shit I do like on my graphic design, it's just me like just being like, oh, I have this idea, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna put it on a shirt, that's it. There's no other like crazy meanings or whatnot, right? But I have like people like skateboarders, friends of mine, that for example they saw the stickers I made, they were like, dude, I want one, I want, or like, dude, I want to put on my board your logo, shit like that crazy. I'm like, all right, do you know this is rollerblading brand, right? And people being like, they don't care as long as they resonate with something. And I do this like global surveillance shit and all these themes because I think, well, I think I like that, and I think people could resonate with
Kind
it.
of relates to everyone.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like what we were just talking about. It's like these ideas aren't explicit to like the practice of inline skating. It's more
exactly.
like relates to how people like you or I see culture at the moment, right? And see like the different changes in culture, or the things that you know, are kind of confusing or mysterious. Like for instance, any reference to conspiratorial like narratives, which often there's some degree of very dark truth to, right? But it's mysterious and confusing, and it's, you know, it reflects how mysterious and confusing we are to ourselves as people, you know. So like you know, are you, so would you do these designs yourself? Are you a graphic designer? Is that what
I
you
mean,
do?
yeah, I would say like, I mean, there's no way I could describe what I do because like I worked in so many like different. It's all related to graphic, right? I do videos, I do animations like motion graphics, and I do graphic design, right? Like my favorite thing to do is video, obviously, but I also like graphic design, and yeah, that's pretty much what I do. It's
And,
just
and I'm aware of, obviously, you know, Mark's a really good pal of mine, and I know that his
definitely,
employment has kind of, sometimes he's employed for some months and then there's a break period where he's,
yeah,
you know, not working, and I know that he works in very similar field.
yeah. It's the
Is
same.
it the same for you, that there may be periods where you're at work and then periods where you're not at work, and is that how it works in Barcelona and Spain? Or yeah, what's the sort of,
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I've been doing a lot of freelancing since I started working at skate shop doing you know, Inertia, right? The skate shop in Barcelona. I was
yeah,
working there
yep,
doing just doing communication stuff and designs and graphic design and video. And then from there, I did a lot of like freelance jobs for startups and whatnot. Then I worked at HP, you know, the computers,
Hewlett
the
Packard,
computers. Yeah, Hewlett Packard. I
yeah.
worked 2 years there as like inside like in-house like designer and video. And yeah, I mean, I had a pretty good career so far. Now I'm just like doing freelancing stuff and doing lots of like job interviews, trying to find like a cool job.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, been working all my life, to be honest.
And would finding a cool job for you at this moment in time constitute like a kind of, you'd be working throughout the year and never off, and would you be contracted, and would you have like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
yearly salary and it just be more reliable?
Yeah, I'm looking for that right now. I'm looking for that because yeah, I've done a lot of freelancing time since like 2019. From now, like 2 years
Mm.
now, I just like I feel like I have to like join like another big company like that and just like get back on the bit of the corporate world again, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah,
Yeah, and is something like paying into like a pension, or so, is that like an important kind of factor for you at this point in your time, like in terms of like your future and your future
yeah,
security
definitely,
financially? Are
definitely.
those things that, well, I mean, we all have to think about that, I
Yeah,
suppose, at
yeah,
this
yeah,
point in time, right?
yeah. I mean, dude, like for me, when I started working at HP, it was like a huge fucking like difference, right? Of working in working freelancing to work for like a big enterprise and just being in the corporate world. And I loved it, to be honest. Like
Mm.
I love to like challenge my creativity in just like in super like tight minds. Like I've been like I work with people that are not creative at all, right? So I loved all that, like defending my ideas and stuff like that in big corporations. I love that challenge. So right now, that's what I'm looking for. I'm waiting for some responses from big
Mm.
companies. We'll see what happens. But so far, I'm also enjoying freelancing, dude. Like it's chill.
Has your freelancing become more well, it's become busier since the concept of TATE and developing that kind of
Yeah, dude.
aesthetic,
Yeah,
basically? Has that improved your freelance work?
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I dude. Dude, I even show it to big like corporate big companies that interview me. I show them what I do. They cannot believe it. They're like, "What the fuck is this?"
So that's part of your portfolio for
Yeah, I
sure.
mean it's there. I mean I show it. I'm not like some people hide it. Like I know friends of mine skateboarders that do stuff, and they do like they look for jobs and they hide it. Like they don't want to show that they're skateboarders and they do like videos and stuff like that. Because I mean I can understand like if you want to hire someone and you see like this person does some crazy stuff on the
Mhm.
weekends, right?
They're going to
You're
rock
gonna be
up
like,
hurt in
right.
jail.
So I don't hide it. Like I mean, people love it. I show what I do, the t-shirts, the stickers. Like I
Mm.
grab like my favorite skaters and I give them and I give them t-shirts. I use them as models. I love showing it and people like it. So I don't have to hide it. To be honest.
Yeah, no, totally. That's what's up. And especially
Yeah.
considering it's such a like a complete look. It's like a very complete looking platform, aesthetic,
Yeah.
iconography. You know, it's got like really awesome like content to like support it, which is the actual skating itself.
Yeah.
Um, and just to pick up on something you just said a moment ago, and it's like, you know, you said that there are some skateboarders that you might know of that wouldn't be too pleased to show what they're doing
Yeah.
as part of their like professional, like, you know, portfolio or
Yeah.
something. And then when I think about, because you know we were just going to get into a little while ago, like the sort of skate tourism
Oh yeah.
in Barcelona, right? And so, you know, my view of that has been as a skate tourist to start with, you know, which actually, I mean, I'm not a skate tourist. Like, I definitely am a skate tourist and probably always will be. But I think, like, you know, coming to Barcelona in the first years was sort of like, you know, it was the idea that Barcelona was a mecca, was a place of unlimited terrain, was a place that was essentially like made for skating.
Yeah.
And then, you know, going over in those first years was exactly that. It felt like it was a playground. It felt like, you know, there were no constraints on your ability to go out and skate a whole range of different things. It felt like it shifted you away from some of the types of terrain and objects that, you know, people really only skated, such as, you know, down rails and very like rudimentary ledges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then I started to become aware that there was a real tension, you know, in terms of skating in Barcelona in certain places, for sure, which are understandable because sometimes you're skating in people's like communities and in and around their
Yeah.
houses and where they live.
Yeah.
But it was almost like it wasn't just limited to skate tourists. It was like a view of just tourists in general.
Yeah.
And then you start to piece together this city that I suppose took a massive regeneration in and around the Olympic Games a few decades ago. So I wondered if you would speak to, you know, what it's been like being a resident of Barcelona with this mecca idea of Barcelona being the center of skating and of urethane-based sports in the world. And how has that like gone for you? And what's that been like, basically?
I mean, it's been so I grew up here, right? I was born here in Barcelona, and but my grandma lives in a town outside Barcelona.
Mhm.
So I used to go there like a lot. Like shout out to all my people there in that town because I grew up there too. So I had like two worlds, let's say, right? Like I would start skating here in Barcelona city, and then also skating this little town, right, where I was like, let's say like more free, because my parents were like, all right, they're both skating in this town, there's nothing gonna happen, right, we can skate till late at night and stuff like that, right.
Mhm.
So it's like I live these different worlds, right, and yeah, I mean, skating Barcelona all my life, I seen like total change. The Barcelona from now, it's definitely not the Barcelona from back then. That's like for sure. Like this city has become, like, I like to call it a circus. It's like a circus, the circus of Europe. I like to call it. It's just crazy. It's just a crazy city right now. Well, with COVID, everything like it's a bit more like calm,
Mm.
right? But dude, the whole fucking skate mecca thing, the whole fucking skateboarding and people coming here and trips here and there. Dude, I used to be like in my 20s, like I used to be very stoked about it, like
Mhm.
blading with fucking everyone from all over the world and making friends and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know, I kind of got stressed and tired of it.
Mm.
Like growing up, I was like, dude, like I got messages from people like, hey man, we're in Barcelona. Can you come show us that spot? And me being like, whoa, dude, no way. Like, I don't even know who you are. Like, well, back in the day when I was on my 20s, I would be like, fuck yeah, let's go skate, right? I would be super stoked. So I got very tired of it. I think Mark did too, for sure.
I mean, it's kind of why I
but
asked the question.
but yeah,
Yeah, I
you get
know.
tired of it. You get tired of it. I mean, there's so many people coming here, and I mean, it's good because I made a lot of friends this way, right?
Mm.
And I met like amazing people, but at the same time, it's like, dude, living in Barcelona is like a total different reality of like someone coming like for skate tourism, right? I mean, I
Mm.
live here. I skated this spots for like years, you know. Like I'm not excited anymore about this city. That's why we went to Madrid actually, because uh, right in my mind, I think Madrid is better than Barcelona, even if it's not,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And or like when I on my first time to New York, I was like, dude, this is way sicker than Barcelona. Why people trip so much about Barcelona, right? But I get it though. Like there's the beach, you know, amazing
Mhm.
spots in every corner, session spots everywhere. But like, yeah, living here and just seeing everything, like all the tricks that happen, and you get tired, dude. You get tired of it. Like, and some people don't understand when I say this. They're like, dude, you live in the fucking skate paradise or whatever. It's like, bro, yeah, I live here, but so what? It's like I'm tired of this. Like sometimes, like, dude, if you would see like how long we take to decide where we're going in Barcelona to skate, like it takes ages, man. Like we could be arguing, like for example, for
I
with
love the passion.
yeah, Mike and me, like we would be like, okay, uh, with Mike, the good thing about Mike is that we will be like more simple about it. All right, let's just go there, let's put our skates on, and just see what happens, right? With other people, it's like, oh, I want to go there because I want to film this trick. No, I want to go there, and then no, but there's nothing there. So where do we go after this trick happens? You know, it's like, dude, it's like so stressful, and it takes so long. And there's so many places to skate, right, in Barcelona. But the people that live here, I think that it just takes forever to decide because you're kind of like fed up with everything.
So do people want a session together, or is it that some people want to film something and want to go to a
Ooh.
certain place to film? How do those things come together, like in terms of being together, sessioning together, and it's like, oh, we're having a good time together, and like, well, we're filming for TATE number 3, or
Yeah,
we're filming
yeah,
for Flamer, or
yeah.
you know, we got some guests in town, like, you know, and all. How do you decide what to do?
It depends, man. It's like so like I was saying, like when I was younger, like I would be on everything, right? I would be sessioning with anyone, everywhere, right? Because you know I was at university, like I had a lot of time, free time. You know, I was doing little jobs and stuff like that, but I could like have all the time in the world, right? But now, and like this past like maybe like 5 years, something like that, like now I just value my time way more. So I'm
Mm.
like very picky, very careful with who I go skate with. Right? Because dude, like it happened to me many times that. Well, I think I always remember this moment. I don't know. I don't want to say who that was or what situation was it. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I was looking at some guy doing this drop king rail with kings or something like that, and I was thinking, I was sitting there watching that with a lot of people, just one guy skating this stupid fucking rail, and I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I just want to go home and play video games. Like, yeah, like I was like, I'm not enjoying this. What am I doing with my time? And then that was a click for me, because then I was like,
It's kind of a crazy thought to have, right? Like,
yeah,
because you would imagine if I'm out skating and I'm seeing something fucking incredible go down,
yeah,
it's like, oh, I'm pleased to
yeah,
be here. It's
yeah. No, I was like, dude, what am I doing with my time? Like, I'm not having fun right now. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna be more careful what I'm doing with my time. And yeah, so dude, there's so many people blading here, right? There's so much shit going on. Like, to be honest, I just skate with Mike, Mark, Adri, my brother, and Patrick. When he comes over, he comes all the time. And whenever you come, with people I really like, right? I cannot go on a session with like, I don't know, 20 rollerbladers. I mean, I might like some of them, but
sure.
it's like, dude, I might have something better to do than that, right? I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
yeah, I don't
So
know.
I mean, definitely, like if I just sort of translate how we skate in London,
Yeah,
I guess it's really about like the social like connection and friendships, relationships that you
yeah,
have, because you
yeah,
kind of want to be around people that when you're not skating, you'd be having some decent conversation with,
yeah,
that you're on a wavelength with, where
yeah,
there isn't a sort of, I don't know, like an agenda that isn't agreed upon by everybody who's there, right? So
yeah, yeah,
it's with the crew that you had mentioned, it's like, that's a pretty I think like most of those guys' ideas about stuff that they would like to skate kind of intersect.
yeah,
So you
definitely.
might not have somebody who's going, yeah, I'm going to do the 6-drop kink rail over there, and I need one camera there, one camera over there, and everybody just like fucking watch
Yeah,
me do this particularly
yeah,
insane trick. Is it
yeah,
something about like the type of skating like we were talking about earlier on, like when we were out in Madrid, there are some tricks that went down. It's like, yeah, this isn't quite the T8 vibes, right? But like, so there's something about like scaling down the sorts
exactly,
of terrain that you're skating, right?
exactly.
Is there something to that? Like the kind of terrain is actually just
Yeah,
smaller, basically.
yeah, yeah, and also, yeah, and for me, everything comes down to like, if I like the persons I'm with. Like, if this person's I enjoy the company of, like, I can see like a lot of like, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but I see a lot of rollerbladers like become like instantly friends just because they
Mm-hmm.
rollerblade, right? I'm not that kind of person, dude. I'm like, like I'm saying, I'm very, very picky with who I hang out with, and of course, like skating wise, it's like, dude, skating is my favorite thing to do, right? So I want to do it with the people I love, right? Or the people that they're gonna inspire me, right?
Mm.
Even like if I like go with Mike and it's just me and Mike, and I don't know, Mike just goes to some crazy stuff he wants to do. I don't like, I'm like, whoa, all right. Even if I don't skate, I'm having fun because I like Mike, he's my friend. And
Mm.
it would be like, you know what I'm saying? It's not,
Yeah,
and and again, there's so many people in Barcelona, dude. You really have to filter with who you're going to skate with, because I mean, yeah, there's people in Barcelona here that love like just skating with everyone
mm-hmm.
and just like having like big sessions. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, dude, I've been into some big sessions too. They're amazing, right? There's like
Sure.
vibes, dude. It's fun, right? But when it comes to like, I don't know, like maybe filming or like having like more like a intimate time with your friends.
And that's the time you really want. That's the time
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
really want. You really,
Yeah.
really want.
Yeah. I really want like I really want to be with my friends and just crack jokes and just like, even if we skate a fucking ledge, and nothing happens that day. I'd rather have a day like that than like a huge fucking session with a lot of people and everyone trying to get clips.
Yeah, I totally
But
understand
at
that.
the same time, we did this in Madrid. We were a lot of people, right? And we were like skating a plaza,
Mhm.
and a lot of shit was happening. But all those people there, I like, right? All those people that we were there, like it's people I love. It's people I love to see skating. Like I love to watch you skate. I love to watch Neil skating. You know, so I was like,
I
dude,
mean,
this is
that was you know, there was some well, actually not some, just every single day that we went out to skate, and you sort of took a look around and you just got like a selection of like world-class street skaters
yeah,
who are like basically the same-ish age, and you know, connect very well together. And you've not got just one camera, so if you're on like a trip, often there's a big responsibility on somebody who's good with the camera to like collect the moves, you know, and actually go and spend that time with the person who's skating to like get the move. Whereas we actually had like a few cameras and a few people who are quite handy with it. So that sort of maybe took some of the pressure off, maybe like, well, you're over there and you want to do this thing, you're over there and you want to do this thing, so like how do I decide what to do? It that just worked really, really well. I mean, there was no issues at all with that, and even because we were so many and there were few of us skating at the same time as well. Remember when Neil did the gap over across the rolling, and then Vasugi got an amazing line there, and then Bauer got a really cool trick there, and then I think Simpson did the Superman there as well. And Column, and then, you know, I think I skated there, you know, so it was like we were all like skating at any given point, and it didn't feel like that was a problem
because
at all.
because there was no like fucking big egocentric person there like saying, okay, I want this now, I want this clip now, I want to do this, I want to do that. We were just having fun. That's what I wanted.
So when you scale, so when you like kind of scale the spots down a little bit, right? And so it's not like a double kink drop, you know, like a fucking gnarly hammer, and you start to move away from the really dangerous like kind of amplitude, like aggressive kind of moves, and you scale things down. Does that breed in your mind a sort of playful, spontaneous kind of atmosphere and environment that's about communicating with each other at a spot? So like when you guys went to Zaragoza, when I saw all of you skating underneath that bridge, and it's like I was watching that just like, fuck, like I just wished I was there. I wished I was playing, you know, along with you guys, and it was just a perfect place for all of you guys to jam it out and have that session. And you wouldn't want to take any of those moves out. They had to be together. It had to be together. And so when you scale things down, is that what's kind of going on? And is that what the sort of comment that sort of Mike had made about, oh, you know, that's not quite is that what that's about, kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah, because at the same time you were saying this, but I was remembering like, okay, we've been into like so many like fun spots that are plazas, and then someone comes up with something fucked up gnarly and does it, right? It's like, it's just whatever happens, to be honest. It's just whatever happens in the session. It's like, but I don't work like not anymore, at least, like someone telling me, hey, I want to do this droplets. I'm like, okay, just go do it. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to go on a mission on one spot to film one skater. That's over for me. Like, I want to go places with people I like, and then record whatever the fuck happens. Like, I observe all the time. Like, I'm skating, but at the same time, I'm watching everyone, and I know when someone is about to do something I like, and then then I just pull up the camera and it's happening. But that's what I want. That's all I want. And if someone wants to do something fucking gnarly, and we are all there and we're all like feeling it, it's like, look, it's like when Neil was like trying for like fucking 3 hours the grind in Madrid. That didn't annoy me at all. But it would have annoyed me if it was another person with a bigger ego, for example, and saying like, I want to go there to do this trick, and then we spend there 3 hours. It's not happening.
Yeah.
I give you 5 tries and you want to do it, and then it's over. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done with that shit.
It's usually within the first 5 that it's going to happen, and if not, it seems to be problematic. But that's a really important point, and I understand why you made that, because somebody's nature, somebody's like personality, how at play their ego is, or how more conservative and warm they are to everybody else's needs, which Neil would certainly be the kind of person that who fits that bill. He's a kind, warm person who isn't trying to like put people or the group who he's with like through some fucking make everybody's time shit, but and you're willing to support that, and we all were.
But at the same time, I respect people that, for example, if you are making a section and you tell me, hey Tony, like, I'm trying to do this trick in this spot, like, I'm gonna go film you, right? Because I know who you are and you're my friend. But I had people, dude, well, you have no idea. Living in Barcelona, it's the craziest thing. Like, I had people like DMing me, telling me, hey man, I want to do this spot. I was wondering if you could film me. People I don't even like, people I know who they are.
Well, like for companies, or just for themselves, as like,
just for, I don't know, for whatever fucking section they're working on, or whatever project. And me like, dude, I don't know you. Like, you're not my friend. Like,
what, in terms of like, you're this kind of freelance skate journalist, sort of skate guy, journalist, cameraman, who's gonna like just turn up and go, all right, okay, here's the clip.
No way, dude. That's like the last thing I would ever do.
So yeah, we were talking a little bit about like skate tourism, and that kind of led on to what we were just talking about. And one of the other things that I wanted to kind of touch on is kind of like the friction in like certain communities. Like, so I've always been well aware that Mark, for instance, has wanted to like protect his local neighborhood in a way, like torchbearer, right? And so like, because obviously it's a neighborhood, but the terrain is particularly inviting for skating, but not just, I mean, let's be honest, like Torre is pretty gnarly.
It's fucking gnarly.
It's like, it's really gnarly. And the only spots that I can think of to mind that are like, let's just say easy, are the black ledges outside the supermarkets. But I've never skated that spot ever. I've been to Torre Barrow many times. I've never skated that spot because I felt really awkward. I always felt like if I'm in Mark's neighborhood, I just want to like totally respect Mark's neighborhood and like basically not skate unless I'm literally with Mark. And even then, it just felt like I don't know. It always felt like there was a bit of a tension in terms of skating in neighborhoods in Barcelona. I felt like, and one of the things for me, skating in general, is that I always want to gain some sort of permission for like skating. Like, I feel really harsh about skating close to people's homes, basically. I just feel really tense about doing that. And I always want to try and seek some permission and stuff like that. So when I see like the tourists go home kind of graffiti and, like, and I remember footage, there are a few clips that I could think of right now where I think like, oh, that was really not so good in terms of the interaction between the skater and somebody who was clearly like a resident. I could think of one particular clip where somebody was trying something, and then a woman came out and had like a bit of a problem with what was going on, and then the reaction from that person was pretty crazy. I think it involved washing up liquid and spraying washing.
I know what you're talking about. I wasn't there, but I know.
I remember watching that, just thinking, fuck, man. Like,
dude, it's Spain. Spain is a crazy country, bro. It's like, I mean, I get it. Like, the British people, you guys are so educated, man. I mean, I mean, well, like the culture is like, it's manners. There's manners, right?
Sure, that's that makes sense.
Spain is wild, bro. It's Barcelona. It's a wild place. Like, I remember like what you're talking about, that clip exactly. And I've seen, dude, you should watch skateboarding videos from Barcelona, man. The shit they do is next level. Like disrespectful shit is like next level.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but it's just like it's all about how wild it is. Like the situations are, and I lived so many of these situations. Of course, I never recorded something like that, and I always like we always try to get out of crazy situations, right?
yeah.
But dude, skating in a city like this is just like it's just so much shit going on, and of course there's so many skate tourism, and people know what you're gonna do there. Like, but
Mm,
when someone lives next to a spot and they see like a bunch of guys and they wear like the same clothes that 2 days ago another crew, showed looking exactly the same, they know what you're gonna do there, right?
mm.
So this is like a whole like there's already all this like anger on everyone's and just like wild shit. There's also like a lot of like like party culture and
Yeah.
fucking getting wasted and skating and just being retarded. I mean, dude, it's just wild. Just a
To,
wild city and wild
to
culture.
to what extent is the party culture and the younger residents, like Catalan, like
Oh
residents?
yeah, dude,
So I
Catalan
mean,
people.
yeah, they're partying, right? And they're in the streets, they're
Well,
making
not
noise. But
yeah. Well, they're
is
not
it
partying
more
as hard as
tourists?
yeah, yeah. They're not partying as hard as the tourists did. Like the
Right.
whole like the whole like skateboarding and skating and BMX and the whole like fucking extreme sports crews of people that come here and just like dude, they just do gnarly shit. They own some gnarly shit. They get wasted and do gnarly shit. And then there's like, of course, you add to the whole like European like crazy tourism too, like coming here only to party and do drugs and whatnot.
Mm,
You put all these things together,
mm.
and it's wild. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why there would be a tension and a friction and a hostility
There's a lot.
towards the cultures that contain, like BMXing, skateboarding, inline skating, all of which want to like let their hair down and go party and have a drink and be like on the
Yeah.
streets till early hours of the morning and that kind of thing. Yeah, it's no wonder. And I suppose like in a way that the hostility is really what's the word, like, well, the police, right? Like
Yeah, the police.
the police are kind of crazy in Barcelona as well,
Yeah, they
right?
want, dude. They make so much money because if you work for police, your main mission, right? If you're a policeman, your main mission is to get money for the state. That's what you have to do. Like every day you have to, and I know this because I know people that told me this, and from like first-hand police, they tell police, okay, you have to make this amount of money of fines, right?
Wow.
So police go there, and they know where to go, right? Where like the party downtown, people are pissing everywhere. So it's like,
Pissing,
all
yeah.
right, 40 bucks. Like, dude, like I've seen crazy shit, like someone peeing, and the police coming from the back and they like, yo, you can't pee there. And the guy like pulling out a credit card and just like, all right, I pay the fine, 40 bucks, but I'm finishing my pee right now, right? Shit like that. I see. Yeah, 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 dude. Oh my God.
Jesus.
Dude, it's mental. I mean, I don't go out that much anymore. I mean, one of the things of getting old, but the whole party thing in Barcelona, I don't do it anymore. But when I used to do it, Jesus, dude, the things I've seen are insane. That's
Yeah,
what I
I
was
mean,
saying before. It's the circus of Europe.
well, the last image that I had of Barcelona
Yeah,
was just all of like the electronic scooters, and not just scooters. I mean, it was like electronic fucking 4x4s. You had like electronic bikes, skateboards, scooters. I mean, every single mode of transport that could be electronically ridden or driven was just like happening on that strip leading up to Barceloneta and then all the way up to it was like a freeway basically
yeah,
of just like electronic shit with just people just on
yeah,
it, tourists, I imagine mostly tourists. And then I remember that the last time I was there just being like, how are people not just dying like every day, just getting hit by these devices? And
yeah,
I was just thinking, how long will it take until this is completely outlawed, or whether there are bans for this or whatnot? I mean, it seems like Barcelona has just got that perfect sort of what's the word, environment of like there's a beach and it's a city and it's bars and it's built up terrain. So how are they gonna, is this a problem that's just gonna be with Barcelona? Have there been measures like on top of the police aggressively seeking out people who are skate? Like, how do you go skate, right? Like, how do you go and skate?
There's like a million regulations for everything. That's what happened. There's a million regulations for everything, and you can be doing something you're not supposed to do. You have no clue. And some policeman can show up to you and be like, "Yo, this is it. Fine, you're doing this. You're not allowed." You know, dude. I go skating like usually. Like I go by bicycle. It's public bikes we have everywhere, and yeah, I mean, I never had any problem. As well, a couple of times like I was like listening to music at the same time and having riding the bicycle. But yeah, there's just like millions of regulations for everything because it's like a huge way to make money out of tourism and out of like wild stuff. You have a million regulations, you have a lot of policemen, and then you just make money. You just put fines, and that's it.
Yeah, it's not a surprise that they are literally telling the policia to seek out the skate tourists and the other extreme sport tourists who are going to be drinking, pissing on the street, damaging their infrastructure, you know, and that they're just administering fines like left, right, and center. It's not a surprise to me. I actually somehow never got fined in Barcelona. And in the early years, for sure, like, because in London, it's like if you are out and about and you need the toilet, it's not exactly there's toilets about. Like, you kind of do have to find somewhere. And, you know, this is my city. So if I'm out skating, for the most part, if I need to like go to the toilet and there just isn't anybody anywhere, I'll find somewhere. And in Barcelona, definitely in the first year or maybe the first 2 years that you're there, and especially being out, and again, like, you know, I'm an older guy now who's not really too concerned about being in a pub or a bar or doing anything where like I need a piss every 2 minutes. It's like I really don't. But I do remember in those first years, like, kind of being swept up in the circus. Like, I really did. Like, I was like, oh my god, it's a circus, awesome. You know, but because you're actually like, you went there to be part of the circus in a way. It's really quite a strange thing. And now, like, even talking about Barcelona in this way, really for me, Barcelona is more about the intimate moments that I've spent like with my friends, such as yourself, such as with Adri, like with Mark, particularly, even to an extent, just like, you know, seeing Teles and seeing some of the other homies when I've been there. But it's been more about like being on Mark's roof and like having a coffee and just sitting there, and then you know, going down to see Mark and Bayer and having some food, or, you know, it's like those are the memories, those are the experiences that I want, rather than that initial like circus, stay at the hostel, this kind of shit. It's weird how things have changed in the course of the last 10 years.
Dude, you know what's funny? Patrick Ritter, every time he comes to Barcelona, he says that the city smells like piss.
It does. It always has.
Yeah, and I never realized about it. The first time he said it, I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. It doesn't smell like piss. And then one day I was like, it just, this pee smell came to me. I was like, dude, this city, it really smells like piss.
Everyone's pissing everywhere. And they say everyone, I mean, it's basically dudes just pissing.
Dudes, dogs,
everywhere.
everything.
Dogs, and there's dog shit. I mean, like, I my gripe's just dog shit, because I've fallen over in dog shit before when I've been out skating. And so, like, you know, I've got this thing about, well, I mean, I don't know if there's anybody who doesn't like look around for like dog shit, but I'm like extra like looking around for dog shit. And then, you know, like, Spain is definitely one of those places where if you fall on the ground street skating, you better have your hand sanitizer and your fucking wet wipes, because it's gross. But, you know, I give myself to that situation. If I'm out street skating, I'm like, I'm gonna get dirty as fuck, and I've got changes of clothes and all of that kind of stuff. But speaking of Patrick, actually, and I did want to ask you, because I know that you've had like a long-standing relationship with Pat. I know that, you know, you guys like you know, FTS, for instance, which Pat has like a huge role to play in, has been like quite a long-standing platform for like really premium kind of skate content. And you know, I've held like FTS like up there, and all of the guys like involved with that, right? And I know that you've gone out to Mannheim. Is it Mannheim?
Yeah, Mannheim.
Yeah, to skate. And yeah, like you and Pat were both involved in the industry in the context of like getting a skate, basically, like the Valerie U, which I actually have a pair like in my house, right? Still, that's fully set up, and that's a boot that I will not get rid of, especially because of Brexit as well. But I just wondered if you could speak to like what it felt like to get a product manifested, you know, was it you and Patton and Core was involved as well with that, right? How did that come to be, and you know, what was that like? And
so yeah, it was like John coming to Barcelona like a long time ago. Oh, dude, like years ago.
Yeah,
probably like
15
7 years ago or something.
I'm talking about 15 years ago. What am I on about? Yeah, okay, seven
or something. Yeah, something like that. Maybe even more. I don't know. And I don't know, like he sent me product. Like he started to send me product, which I'm grateful, like really fucking grateful for everything that John gave me.
Of course.
And I was super stoked, like on Valo and everything. And I met Patrick, and we became like good friends. Like the first time we met each other was in Winter Clash, I think. And pretty much, I started to hang out with Patrick a lot. Like I want to say like Patrick is like for me like my big brother, and like for me it's like also like a creative mentor for me.
Sure.
Because he's one of those persons that can dude, he has the brain of the creative, right? He can like see something in his brain and make it happen, like conceptualize it, and he's highly like creative.
Like as a skater, or like
as everything.
As everything.
Yeah, like one day he was filming. He's like some friend of his. He's an artist, and he was making like a mini documentary about him. I don't know if he ever published that or whatnot, but I saw the clips he was making, like documentary style of that guy. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like this is like some like a director of photography shit. Like you are very good at like filming and like framing the shots and everything. So he has his mind, and I always like listen to him. I always like I care a lot of his opinions, and we also like have similar like taste. So when we met and we were like both like skating Valos and doing stuff, like we were like, dude, we have to work together. We have to do something. So we came up with this Valo Europe thing, which was just like Patrick, Olaf, Core, and me. 4 people, right? Yeah, we were only 4, and we said let's make an edit. They came to Barcelona a long time ago, and we got some footage, and then that evolved to the long length video, which like when I look at it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what I was even thinking, because there's so many like mixed footage with cameras and different frame rates and
different
shit.
formats and stuff.
Oh, yeah, but I was young, dude. I was
yeah,
like,
of course.
25.
Can't be too harsh on yourself there.
I was 24, I think. Yeah, or 25. And yeah, man, it was good times, great times. Like that was my first experience with like making a project with Patrick. And then FTS was getting, I think it became something.
Had FTS started at that point?
I think it started. Yeah, definitely, because I remember doing something with Patrick about that. But yeah, this whole FTS is Patrick. It's Patrick's brain. It's fucking sick, everything he does. Like I only have good words for that man, because he's like talented as fuck and everything. Like creative way is just on another level, and I listen a lot to him. So yeah, like we did the Valo Europe thing, and yeah, then I don't know, like John was like nice enough to be like, all right, let's make a skate. I was like, what? Let's make like a Europe skate. I was like, all right, let's go for it. I mean, we were fucking stoked. and we made the promo, which is one of my favorite edits.
It's really good.
Yeah,
It's sick.
It was Patrick's. Like, I think I chose the track, and I he edited all of it. I think maybe I helped him. I don't know, because we were always together. But yeah, he edited it, and it was dude, it's one of my favorite edits that I like. All the shit I made, like, I kind of hate like 95% of it, but this fucking
that's hanging out with Simpson.
Yeah, that's fucking edit. This promo, I love it, dude. And that was the beginning of something. Like, also, like, the whole FTS wave and the whole, like, style. It kind of like started there. This whole thing.
And, it's like a precursor. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Patrick just like took it on his own level. But yeah, man, I was super excited about the skate, about the edit. It was sick to see that product. We also went to fucking Italy to the fucking Rossi's factory, and we saw that shit. It was crazy, man.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to. So
there's something very funny. There are so many stories, but this one is very funny. We were having lunch with some Rossi's, like, fucking sales manager, whatever, right? And the fucking CEO of whatever, Rossi's, whatever, right? And John, and that guy told us straight to our faces that he thought that the skate would never sell much because no one knew us. Like, we were not famous skaters, right? And it's true.
Okay.
Actually, it was true. Like,
we
were not like known as much as like other people that were on Valo, right?
Okay.
But we were there sitting, like, looking at each other like, holy shit, this guy is saying that this skate is not going to sell. Like, what are we even doing here, right? and yeah, it was so jokes because the situation was like everyone was silent.
So you're like in a room, like talking?
No. We were sorry. We were in a restaurant, actually a fucking legit Italian restaurant, eating pasta. I hope the fucking Rose's, like, lawyers don't come at me after saying this.
Well, I think the Rosa's lawyers probably might have some work on fairly soon. Yeah. But I won't.
It was funny. It was so funny, and they were like very skeptical about our stuff. Like, he was like, no one knows who you are, and he was asking me, like, who are you? Yeah, I remember that. And Patrick too.
Yeah. How do you? Yeah. So you're like at the sort of epicenter of one of the biggest, most well-known and renowned skate manufacturers in the world. You're speaking to the hierarchy of this company at a restaurant in Italy. Yeah. Right. And they're sort of saying, they're saying to you, hey, look, we're a bit apprehensive about whether this skate's even going to sell. Yeah. What did that sell? Who are you? Literally going, who are you? Yeah. What does that?
Like, I'm Tony. I'm from Barcelona. I have 24 years old.
What did that say to you about, like, I don't know, the kind of relationship a skate company should or could have with riders who are out there in the field skating, being seen, producing the content that people want to see, basically? Like, what does that say to you about, like, that kind of, how connected they are to what they're doing?
To be honest, like, shout out to fucking Alessandro. Like, he was one of the guys working there, and he paid for, like, fucking amazing pizza. He got us drunk. He was a fucking man. He was a fucking man. But the rest of the guys, the rest of the people that we met there were a bit strange. Dude, it's a family business, Rossi's. They've been just like, they've been in the game for so long, right? And I get it that this guy came to us like, yo, like, who are you? Like, because you're gonna sell a product, that is made in this factory, right? We have to make some profit. I get it. I totally understand that. But it was so jokes, man. It was so jokes. And
that would have been, just objectively, when you describe that situation, it was
all thanks to John. John is a man, and he was like, nah, we're making it happen. I believe in this skate, and I believe.
Well, he understands the culture. He actually understands how you know, aggressive skaters and the different permutations of the market, and he's a street skater. He goes out and street skates and films, and he knows what the culture is, basically, because he helped create it, essentially. So, you know, that he was, you know, committed to making the skate no matter what the people who are manufacturing the skate thought, is really a testament to, you know, the four of you guys, sort of status and position and body of work in the European and world skate scene at that point. And, you know, that's it just stuck out to me because I've kept that boot. I look at it often. It's a fucking awesome boot. I skated it in 2017, just off of the back of a knee injury, and I remember some of the moves that I was able to do in the V in that particular boot. But yeah, I just remember the V13 just being like really tough for my feet because I was like basically like ramming my feet in there to skate. But it's just a fucking great looking boot and great feeling skate. But yeah, I think I remember you talking to me years ago about that experience at the factory.
That's one of the jokes I always tell. It is such a good moment, such a good moment.
So did you, like, in your mind and yours and Patrick's mind, like what was it, just that this is fucking amazing, we're getting this opportunity to like work on a skate? Like, well, for you, did you see that you were sort of like climbing a ladder, or like what was your perception of what was actually happening, like in an industry sense at that
point? To be honest, man, like for me, to be honest, like I never like skated for anyone, let's say like that. I was getting free stuff from Valo. That's it, right? And I just had this, like, I just liked Patrick, Core, all these guys became my friends. So I was like, why not? You know, we should make a video. We were a crew inside Valo. That was it. There was no like team or like, I hate that, all that fucking, oh, it's in the team or not. Nah, it was just a group of friends that we were all skating Valo, right? It's like the Strange Creatures thing. They did the same.
Sure.
So we were the same. We were like a crew, but we said Valo Europe because that was what we came up with, you know? There's a lot of people like actually ripping in Europe for Valo, but we were just this group of friends, right? And it's the same, like, again, right? Like a nice crew and making something happen, right? And John was supporting us, so it was epic. And then when John had the idea of the skate, it was fucking epic. But to me, it didn't mean anything. Like, I mean, it meant a lot. Like that, my project.
I know what you're saying.
Valo Europe, the project, had a skate, but as individuals, there was no one's pro skate for sure. I mean, that's insane. Like I ever think like I never wanted to be like I never wanted to fight for a pro skate or like have a career in blading. That to me is like insane. Like I just wanted to like the same again, like have a cool project to work with my friends, and that's what happened with Valo Europe. No one of us felt like, oh, now we are pros. Nah, dude, that was bullshit. Like, we were just like stoked. Like we made a video, the skate was happening, then we were going to make another video, which was the promo in the end, and that's it. We were stoked. And the fucking thing, then Valo ended, and that was it. I mean, totally fine. You know?
Was that quite soon after that Valo came to an end, after the Europe skate?
3 or 4 years, I guess. No, maybe more, maybe less. 3 years. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was soon. Yeah, it was soon. I remember having still skating the skate sometimes. The Valo Europe skate.
Do you have like a sort of a brand new pair that is all like pristine? That dude,
it's gonna no. I have them, dude. No, I have them in my fucking like. But I have my laundry machine. They're there. They're all fucking destroyed. And sometimes I walk there and I'm like, oh, sick. I did this. Nice. That's it. Like sometimes I don't even remember about Valo or anything like that. I'm like so focused on what's going on now that it's like. But it was fun, dude. It was fun for sure.
I think it's clearly like anybody who's been involved in skating and is involved with the manifestation of an actual like hard piece of hardware. It's like, it's no mean feat. It's a massive deal, and I just think it's really it's a good thing that at the time John invested in the idea of you guys as a crew within a crew. And that's an important part of like how diverse, the kind of I guess, culture of a brand is that, you know, you've got like a certain look and aesthetic, but within that you've got a diversity that speaks to what people want to see in skating, which is not necessarily like, you know, I don't know, doing particular types of tricks or wearing particular kinds of clothes or listening to particular kinds of music and so on and so forth. Just to have a think about like music and stuff, and also I don't know how I didn't ask you this or why I've never asked you this, and I'm sure you've been asked this many times before, but you've got like an alias, you've got a nickname, which is Tony Cheetah, right? How did this alias come about? Were you given it or did you adopt it yourself?
Simple story. No, hell no, dude. I would never put that name to me. It was someone said this to me when I was little, like one of the OGs at the skate park said, "Oh, you I don't know." They were making a joke about the animal, the cheetah animal. They said, "You are fucking cheetah." That's it. You know, in Spain, everyone gets baptized with a fucking nickname. You see, you see it,
Enano,
you see it. And fucking soccer players all the time. In soccer in Spain, everyone has a fucking nickname. It's like a culture thing. So yeah, I had this fucking nickname and I was like, all right, fuck it, let's go with it. I mean, and everyone calling me shits for years. So I was like, you know what? It is what it is. Like, that's.
What do you think the cheetah name referred to? Was it literally just a random, completely random thing, or totally. It wasn't about like how you looked or like?
Yeah, I think something like that. I think like a way I was skating, like one day I will ask this guy that put the name on me. I think it was one guy or maybe a couple of guys, but one day I will ask them like, yo, what happened that day?
What did you see?
Like, what the fuck?
Because when I watch some of your older edits, and there are a few like quite random. There's like a 1 minute one spot at Parallel.
That shit's so old.
It's old,
I was fucking 18 or something.
You were 18 there.
Maybe or 20, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's over 10 years old. And then there was another 4 minute section that I saw that was some skate park, a little bit of street. That was in Razors, I think.
Dude, but yeah, we're talking about 16 years old.
Yeah, like these are old. And
yeah, I have there's like two, I would say like two fucking times that I had like in my life skating. Like, so there was this time when I was like younger and I was like with a crew of skaters I used to film a lot, and I was like very young, right? And also like already like learning how to skate street, to be honest, and in a lot of ways. And yeah, this whole like thing till like I would say it lasted till like Valo, and just like starting to skating with Mark and Adri, like it shaped me more into like another kind of skating. And yeah, just like being with those guys and learning so much from them, and then just like the Valo times and meeting Patrick and these people, just like evolution, like in a way, like. And to be honest, I never took it like serious, like I want to have a career in blading, that kind of shit. Like for me that's ridiculous, but I was like I was having this like evolution despite like meeting people and people that were older than me too, like way older than me, and just teaching me things and learning, and yeah, like totally like changed my vision of things from that period of like being like from my 20s being younger to like my end of like 26, 27, 28 till now I'm 33. Just like also like changing lots of shit of my lifestyle, everything. I used to be like way more like hippie style, you know, and like not carry on everything short term, everything like fucking zero discipline, you know, all that crap. And to becoming like someone that like has responsibilities and just like growing up, that affected a lot to my skating, like a lot. Like, and also like, of course, also like studying and going to university and learning about art and design and just like trying to be always like, I'm not saying that trying to be always on trend or whatever, right? But always like seeing what's happening and what's going on. That changed me a lot. And like yeah, like there's like huge like the things these videos you're talking about are like ages ago. And then I would say like the only things that are like worked like hard for it and just I'm proud of it. It's like Tate and some FTS things I've done, and that's it. And the fucking Valor Europe promo. That would be like the things I like would highlight of the things I've done. Right. The rest is like it's just like bullshit.
Yeah, but I mean, as you say, like that was part of your
Being young, yeah,
discovering like yourself, your vision.
yeah,
And I suppose a lot of that comes out in your style, like in how you actually skate. Like for instance, that 1 minute one spot, it's kind of like the aesthetic, you know, with like, I don't know if you've got a studded belt in that particular section, but certainly Tony could be seen with a studded belt with ripped jeans, with kind of like glam rock soundtrack almost.
I still love that shit.
No doubt, yeah, because this music is timeless. But at the time, you felt it very necessary to like represent the things, the music. For instance,
I was really into punk. I was really into like fucking all this shit. Yeah, I'm still are, but like you grow up and stuff like that. But that's what I was saying. Like all my like creative process of learning and just like being around people and being like I had like amazing also teachers in university and stuff like that. I opened my mind a lot. Like instead of like just like being into like punk and like rock and roll and punk and whatever, it opened a lot my mind to other like things and artistic movements and stuff. So I was like, changed a lot, man. I changed a lot. Like definitely. Like I see stuff from myself from my 20s. And I'm like, holy shit. what I was even thinking. But yeah, I mean, it's cool.
Me too.
For sure. Everyone.
I mean, definitely in terms of, for me, mostly it's kind of like, I mean, one particular thing is definitely like the kind of clothes that like I may have used to have worn. Like for instance, like wearing joggers like low down, so your bum is hanging out, was just such a weird thing that was just, I don't know, like not expected. It was like it was reflected. Like I don't know why we thought that was a good decision. I do know why, but I wouldn't start to try and explain that now. But it is one of those things where you look back and go, oh, God. I mean, I don't see that actually in your stuff at all. Like something that like I think is embarrassing for you. Like I can look back at some stuff from me 15 years ago and go, oh, that is super embarrassing, particularly with the pants. But there was just like, oh my God, what were we doing, right? But yeah, like definitely like, so for instance, is like Mike Lilly an inspiring person to you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean,
right.
It still is. But if you look at Mike Lilly, if you look at Mike Lilly now, he doesn't look like he looked like in the meantime. It's like, I was thinking the other day about it. It's like the whole clothing thing for me is like now I try to skate with comfy pants and comfy joggers and whatnot because it makes me feel like when I started skating when I was like fucking 11, I was wearing fucking Kappa tracksuit or whatnot. I was like, that was sick, right? I was like comfy as fuck, and I was ripping those joggers, and I was like, dude, like when I was probably 27 or 28, like 40 years ago or something like that, I was like, I had this idea in my mind, like, what if like I would start like again dressing like when I was like 12, just when I go blading, right? Like wearing these fucking joggers or whatever, right? Some super comfy like fucking shorts or like, and yeah, this just started like that. I don't know, and I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, there's a foot. So often you hear this term, it's like a full circle, right? Which I mean, clearly has its references to skating with the wheels and everything, but more as like a kind of a pattern that people tend to go in and find themselves back where they begun. And it's something that seems to like make sense, because all of that period in between, it's like you were rooting around for what you really meant and what you really wanted to show. Some of that is with your clothing, some of that is with the kinds of moves that you do, etc., etc. You know, and even with myself, it's like, I find myself, like wearing baggy cargos, and then I thought back to, there was this period where like I wanted to wear slightly better fitting jeans, right? And I have my own reasons for that. Maybe because my earlier days of skating, wearing like joggers down there and really, really oversized stuff, it didn't get me the kind of reactions or responses, not in skating, but outside of skating in the social world, that I may have wanted. And so, you root around to be accepted outside of skating and all of these other environments. And, you sort of find that actually you needed to do all of that stuff, but it didn't matter as much as you thought it did. And you can actually go back to where you started, which is like, I just kind of wear what the fuck I want, but mostly it's going to be stuff that I'm comfortable in, that's kind of oversized. And it's like, oh, I was wearing baggy cargos 15, 20 years ago, and here I am just wearing baggy cargos again, and just like double XL or XL shirts. And it's like, oh, I'm so comfortable. Why wasn't I comfortable?
Exactly. Dude, everything changes. Like what's sick now, it will be bullshit in like fucking 5 years anyway. But
that's that 90s shit as well, because you were talking about like some of the 90s iconography, and it's almost like some of those branding or some of the iconography or graphics or branding from that era were like almost corny, but they weren't actually corny. There's some, you just thought of them as corny. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. Like
I mean, this whole fucking streetwear movement that we've been living for some years, that fucking Kappa has like stores and like all this like fashion that just recycled all this like 90s streetwear style, and grabbing bits of like all cultures, skateboarding and all that stuff. I mean, it's coming back. I mean, it already came back for years already. It's like, but now it's like it's also getting into blading with the fucking the brain dead collab.
Oh, brain dead, yeah, exactly. I was just sort of about to take those words out of your mouth. And is that so that collaboration, is that a reflection of how like street skating culture? And because we've been in the streets for like 20 fucking years. I've been in the streets for over 20 years, literally not doing street, or rather not representing street culture, like been fucking doing street culture, been living it. Right. And so is that like kind of collaboration a reflection of how, skaters actually lead fashion in some kind of way?
I mean, all these like I was saying, like there's been this movement for years, and this like boom of the streetwear like culture, and it's been based all around skateboarding, right? All these fucking like brands that come up and they're like hip, or let's say like that, they all like have skateboarding in their identity and whatnot. And I think it's fucking smart to get blading into. I mean, the guy from Brain Dead is fucking smart, because I followed this brand for a long time. I always liked it, and I know what this guy does, and he like he grabs the cultures he likes and then just like makes collabs with it, which is so fucking smart, right? So I mean, blading has been there forever, and
it's withstood attack.
You can debate if it's sick or not, right? I mean, sure, a lot of people think it's not sick, fine, but it's been there. It's like it's way more punk than skateboarding for sure, 100%. Because skateboarding is so fucking mainstream right now that I have a lot of skateboarding friends telling me that they wish they had like what we have, like a small community.
That's not the first time that I've heard that either. I mean, James Bauer. He has a lot of friends who skateboard as well, and they would share very similar sentiments, that actually the way that skateboarding is so commercialized and mainstream at this point of time is something that for them is a little bit uncomfortable. It's like, we want to almost reclaim some of the roots of actually practicing skateboarding in the streets, which isn't what we see, for instance, with certain brands just like holding a skateboard and going, we're all about the culture. And it's like, I swear you're not about the culture. Like none of you motherfuckers are in the streets, and you don't really represent like you just don't represent so much about what we're actually about. That's really a nice point that you've made about Brain Dead, that you followed the brand actually for some time and had noticed that they had been collaborating with cultures or street cultures or whatever things culturally they think is I don't know, to collaborate with it. And is it something to do with skating, like inline skating having always been kind of attacked or viewed as like not cool? So by the very virtue of sticking with it and going, fuck you, we don't give a fuck and we think it's cool, that it's, and that this current culture circles around themes like inclusion, diversity, acceptance, that, you know, the butt of inline skating jokes was this idea that you were like, you know, that you were gay if you did it, which is like not actually a slur at all, because it's like that's your prejudice actually against gay people. We don't actually have any prejudice against gay people, but it created a very, I don't know,
it's insane.
How do you say it? Like if you were in skating, it just, in your mind, it was quite difficult to think of yourself. Like, how is this all right? Is it not? I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. But what do other people think of it? So I guess in 2021, having those sorts of collaborations, for instance, does speak to the changes in culture as a whole. And then it is actually like, fuck you, we was always cool. We was always in the streets. Like, I don't know. But anyway, it's cool.
To a certain point, I get it. I get that blading can be very bad looking. I get it. Like, it can look super sloppy, and it is not the same as standing in a board, right? When you stand in a board, you look cool.
Sure.
Period. When you have rollerblades on, you're gonna look very bad. I mean, I get that, but it's not about that. I think it's all the subculture generated around blading, and I'm talking. I'm not even talking about recreational skating. I'm talking about trick skating, aggressive inline, whatever you want to call it. I think that is so punk, like, and so smart to like bring it into the. I mean, I'm not saying Brain that is mainstream, but I'm saying that it is a well-known brand in the street.
Yeah, well, you knew it.
Yeah, I knew it, and I always wanted to cop shoes from them and stuff like that. And it's so fucking smart to grab blading and be like, this is sick, and just show it how. And I believe the guy from Brain that like knows how to like portray it exactly, like in a right way, and choosing the right people to do it. So, dude, I think it's one of the best things that ever happened in blading, to be honest. Like,
I think you might be right. You know, I really like the collaboration. I didn't really know much about Brain Dead before. I'm not like a fashion guy in the sense of like, I don't know an awful lot about some of the brands that are popping and stuff like that.
There's so many.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like with Instagram essentially turning into a marketplace, you've got a lot more prevalence of like, basically in the UK, it was kind of like high street fashion, and actually in Barcelona as well. It's like people actually going into shops and stuff like that. Whereas now, like, your shop face is actually on your Instagram and stuff like that, right? So yeah, I don't really know where I was going with that point. I mean, I suppose to take it back to like TATE, it's like, you know, you've now got like a shop face that is essentially, you know, or everything is in one place. Oh, I think I know where I was going. I mean, some of the maybe some of the aesthetics of Brain Dead, you know, it is like quite a colorful brand, right? It is quite like gaudy and colorful, and
it is very nature oriented. What I see is like a lot of like mountain style climbing. They do climbing, collabs and whatnot. I mean, it's sick as fuck. I always liked it. I always liked that logo since I saw it, and yeah, it's huge, man. It's huge. Like, props to John on that. It's fucking
fuck yeah, it's got to be said. And, you know, continuing to I suppose like just help skating as like a subculture progress into a place of real fruition and real creativity, and you know, yeah, it's good for us. What for you, like what's like coming up? Like, what are your kinds of ideas for TATE? I mean, it's difficult to travel at the moment, but what's kind of on your mind over the next few weeks and months to work on some skate things?
There's some things I have in mind, but yeah, I mean, I'm waiting on people, like maybe Patrick comes, we'll see. I don't know. Right now, I have no real plans because everything is a bit insane, right? And I have to get the fucking vaccine. Everyone has to get the fucking vaccine. So everyone can travel. All this bullshit. So yeah, dude, I'm so fed up with fucking COVID, and I'm just waiting to this shit to go. I'm not making real plans because I know they're not gonna be like possible. But I'm really focusing on doing new shirts. Like I have a lot of new shirts ready. I'm just sending shirts to people I like, and just like, maybe if you can send me a photo of now, like I'm doing that shit right now. Like I sent some to Luda. Like I'm just doing that now. Like people I like, that people I love their skating and what they do. I just like send stuff to them, and just like trying to get it out there, like kind of like a selection. Like I'm not saying like a selection of people, but like I'm sending stuff to people I like, and letting them know, like, hey, like next project, like I want to count with you. I'm trying to organize a trip, but everything has to be like more chill. Otherwise, it's just organizing something and nothing's gonna happen, right? So I'm just waiting. I'm just fucking waiting, and all the time I have free and at home, I'm just like trying to do as much as design as possible as I can.
Wicked.
Because whenever I get a job, it's gonna be a little bit like I'm not gonna have the same amount of time, but like since I got like the concept in quarantine with the whole global surveillance thing, and I made so much. I have so much ready, and so many. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas, and I just need the right time to like get TATE 3 where I want to get it. Like I also have like insane ideas for the release. Like it has to be something different, right? With stream, with QR code, and I don't know what's gonna be the next one, but
yeah, you've definitely like set a precedent for really like creative, technologically ingenious ways of dispensing like your content. And I'm sure like whatever that's going to be is going to be like really, really like well anticipated. I'm telling you, man, both of those videos are like, I mean, yeah, I'd be biased because like you're my mates, and like I'm obviously appearing in some
I know
of them,
a lot of people. I know a lot of people that don't like it, and they told me.
Come on,
dude, that's fine.
What?
yeah. I mean, dude, that is totally fine. Like, I don't want people telling me, "Oh, I like it," because they know me or whatever. Dude, if you didn't like it, tell me. That all this thing that road have this thing that they all have to like everything. You have to like everything that. Fuck no, dude. I know a lot of people. Well, not a lot, but I know some people that are like in like not in my circle, but like in the
sure.
like,
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But I know that they told me they don't like it, so I'm like, fine, dude. Thank you for telling me. It's good.
Yeah. So, and some of those views, like I understand and I can see that as well. And it goes to say how much like ownership or representation you have or see in skating by like pros or people that I don't know should know better to like make skating look the way that it should look. And and that's because I suppose people care about skating so much and they practice it and they love it, and that's fair enough. But when I look at those videos and being experienced at skating as I am, and like playing my role with doing fucking dangerous shit or whatever, and also like I just love fucking around and doing silly kind of shit too, and just being like playful. It's like these are supreme videos, man. Like they're so giving. Every viewing is like the first thing you think of is I really want to go and skate. If you're watching a video and all you're thinking about is like I just need to go and fucking skate, like even after the first minute I just really want to go and skate, you almost want to like take leave from watching the video to go and skate. Any video that's kind of doing that shit is like I mean, you know, you've created something that has like a big value to it, you know. And I think
like the end of the TATE one with Neil like
it's
giving a hug to
too
his
much,
that's the kind of shit I want to do. That's the kind of moments I want to film. That's everything to me, man. That's like fuck tricks, really, seriously, fuck tricks. Like all I want is like show people how much fucking fun I have with my friends, and that's it. Right? That's fucking it.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, that, I mean, that moment, it's honestly, that is, again, like I was there, I watched it. It's funny because I've got like the phone clip of
It's
that
so
happening, and it's one of the I don't even know how to describe it, because there's so many different sorts of things going on in that moment, but it's definitely one of the most amazing things I've actually seen go down with my own eyes. That is through and through about like what goes on in the streets. It's about like the environment as well, because it was a really beautiful building, so people would obviously go there to practice their dancing in the mirror, because they're actually practicing their like dancing in the mirror. And then you've got like Neil, who's doing like a move, and he's also using the environment to it in a really good way. But it's like if you take everyone out of that situation that made up that street scenario,
Exactly.
I suppose you've got a very different clip. You've got a very, and it doesn't actually become the fulcrum or the ender of the video. It's maybe something else. But it is an incredible moment to have been captured.
That trick wasn't even like something special. I mean, to be honest, that trick was sick, right? But
it's
it was
Neil doing a huck, and he can jump his fucking head height. So
exactly, jumping a rail and then doing 180. But we told those kids, you remember,
you told them to do it.
Yeah. I had to go and tell them in Spanish, like, yo, when this guy lands the street, you guys have to dance so fucking hard. And then the other guy lost it. The fucking other guy. The guy with
the I mean, he's a street dweller.
Yeah,
obviously
drunk as fuck.
He was pretty drunk. I mean, that's his daily situation. But the fact that he was able to come out of whatever like state of mind that he was in and just be like, this is my corner, this is the place that I hang out, and I am so fucking amped of what has just gone on here. And you know, when he kicks the hat, you know, just everything that he like stomps the hat out instead of picks it up, and then it was essentially like he like knights Neil, he like knights him with the hat, and it's just, it's perfect. It's a perfect moment, and it's everything about what goes on in the streets, where you like wish you had a camera, and it just so happens that we go out and are sort of part of those scenes, of those moments. And TATE is it's like one of the top representations of like street skating that there is. You know, so you know, you and the homies have just have killed it. Dude, we have been going for a good couple of hours now.
Yeah, it is.
And nice. It's just been, I mean, it's funny because I actually wrote like a treatment of shit to ask you, and I think like we basically touched on some of those things, but there's a whole load of other things that I would want to ask you, and maybe well, that's just the way with guys like you who are pals of mine, who are real.
We will see each other in the future for sure.
Well, yeah, I am vaccinated, and shit, I've got the double vaccination. I'm ready to roll. I'm ripping the mask off and I'm chucking the mask on the floor. I'm not really. I'm wearing the mask, but the point is that I have got the vaccine, and I am waiting for like Spain and Barcelona to be on our like green list, so like I don't have to quarantine. And it's weird, isn't it? Because when you think about like traveling, and it's like, imagine going somewhere and then some shit go down and you just can't get home. And that's the thing that I think of the most. It's like, that cannot happen because I've got responsibilities and things that like I just have to be able to get home for. But you know, hey, look, you know, my eyes are open and my senses are keen for like meeting up with you guys and coming to see Mark and Bayer and you guys and Adri and Simpson and Janelle and just all of the homies, and just come be with my fam. So we'll just have to, you know, we'll have to wait till that green light, man. But listen, Tone, fucking appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time. So
thank you. It was amazing.
we will talk again real soon. And just good looking out, man.
Let's go. Yeah. All right, bro.
Peace, Tone. Later on, dude.